The HR director interrupted the interview with a single question. So who watches your kid during deadlines? Rachel felt the decision land immediately, clean and quiet, before she even answered. This wasn't about her experience or qualifications. They'd already decided motherhood was the problem. Rachel blinked once. Her hands stayed folded on the table, but her knuckles had gone white. The HR director, Lydia Morgan, smiled like she hadn't said anything wrong. Her nails tapped the glass desk. 1, 2, 3. The same rhythm as the ticking clock on the wall. I manage, Rachel said quietly. The word manage came out cleaner than she felt. Lydia nodded, the smile still there. That's great. We just want someone who can be flexible. You know how deadlines can get. Rachel's stomach tightened. I do. A soft hum from the air vent filled the space between them. The fluorescent light flickered, humming in sync with Lydia's nail taps. Rachel noticed everything. The perfume, the perfect bun, the way Lydia's tone never broke politeness, even when it cut deep. The rest of the interview was a blur. Questions about team energy, fit, availability. Nothing about her years of managing product launches. Nothing about the certifications she'd earned while raising a 6-year-old alone. Just polite small talk, the kind that already knew its ending. When it was over, Lydia stood, extending her hand with the same thin smile. We'll be in touch soon. Her heels clicked once against the tile, sharp, steady. Outside, the hallway smelled like burnt coffee. The elevator doors caught her reflection, steady face, quick pulse. By the time she reached her car, her phone buzzed. New email. Subject line, thank you for your time. She didn't open it. She already knew what it said. For a long moment, she sat still, the steering wheel cold under her fingers. The air conditioning hissed softly. Then, slowly, she unlocked her phone and replayed the recording she'd started by accident that morning. Her son's voice reading a story before school. She hesitated, then scrolled to voice memos. A new file. Title, Interview, Today. Her thumb hovered over the red circle. Click. The sound of Lydia's nails. 3 taps. That was the moment Rachel decided she wasn't crazy, and she wasn't done. The next morning, Rachel sat at her kitchen table with her laptop open and a mug that had gone cold an hour ago. The rejection email was still there, the same wording she'd seen before. We appreciate your time, not the right cultural fit. She opened the previous 2 rejections side by side. Same paragraph spacing, same punctuation, even the same typo in opportunity. Her jaw clenched. Her son, Eli, was building a Lego tower on the floor beside her. It's taller than the coffee, he said proudly. She smiled, but her mind stayed on the screen. Not the right fit. That phrase had become code. Not about culture, about motherhood. That afternoon, she met up with Jenna, another single mom she'd met at a local networking event. They sat in a noisy cafe, the hiss of the espresso machine cutting through their conversation. They asked if I'd be comfortable working late, Jenna said, rolling her eyes. Same woman. Red nails? Rachel nodded slowly. Same. By the time Rachel got home, a plan had started forming. She searched Texas Employment Discrimination Audio Recording Legal, reading line after line. The words one-party consent glowed on the screen like a quiet green light. She pulled up the voice memo from the interview again. The audio played softly, Lydia's voice too cheerful, too smooth. So who watches your kid? Rachel felt something click inside. Not rage, not fear. Just focus. That night, after Eli fell asleep, she opened her laptop again. The room was dark except for the screen's pale light. She changed her name, her address, her years, just enough to look like someone else. Then hit send. And again, another name, another file. Each time, the red circle blinked on her phone, steady, patient, alive. By the end of the week, 3 voices filled her folder. Lydia's laugh. The same polite poison. The same nail taps on glass. Rachel listened with her earbuds in. Calm face. Still eyes. Her fingers never stopped moving. She named the folder invoices, and that night, she finally slept. Rachel sat in her car outside the office park, engine off, windows rolled up. The air was still, except for the soft mechanical hum of the dashboard cooling fan. She'd learned to sit like that, to wait until her heartbeat slowed before doing anything. The folder invoices was now 5 gigabytes of voices. Lydia's laughter. The same fake compliments. The same question, how do you manage with a kid? Every recording sounded polite, harmless, until you heard the pattern. That morning, she'd driven two other moms, one from her son's school, one she'd met online, to their own interviews. Both had applied to the same company. Both left the building with the same blank look Rachel had worn the week before. Did she say something about commitment? Rachel asked quietly as they got into the car. The woman in the passenger seat nodded. She said, "We need people fully available. Like being a mother means part-time brain." The engine started, and the radio clicked on mid-sentence, some talk show about leadership culture. Rachel turned it off. Silence worked better. That night, she plugged her phone into her laptop. The waveform of Lydia's voice moved across the screen, calm, rehearsed, measured. Beneath it, the faint background hum of the office ventilation. She zoomed in, trimming silence, aligning timestamps. Each file lined up perfectly. Same tone, same words, same timing. She paused, staring at the pattern. Then she opened another tab, EEOC complaint process. Her cursor blinked. Once, twice. She almost closed it, then didn't. It took her 3 hours to finish, not from doubt, but precision. At the end, she attached the first audio file, then the second, then the third. Before clicking submit, she switched to her phone. Her son's bedtime playlist was open, the one she'd made to calm him down. She scrolled past the fairy tales and tapped, record new. She held the phone close, spoke quietly. "This is for him." Then she hit stop and saved it over one of his old bedtime stories. That was the moment she knew she couldn't go back. For a few days, the house felt lighter, almost normal. They called her in on a Thursday. Subject line, follow-up meeting, HR clarification. Rachel knew what it meant. The tone was too clean, too rehearsed. She arrived 10 minutes early. The waiting area smelled like lemon cleaner and cold coffee. A digital clock on the wall ticked backward once, a glitch in the display, before settling again. Lydia came out smiling, her lipstick perfect. "Appreciate you coming in, Rachel. Just wanted to clear the air." Inside the conference room, the air conditioner hummed too loud. Lydia sat across from her, folding her hands in that polished, managerial way, palms up, voice steady. "I think there's been a misunderstanding. We've noticed some irregularities in your applications." Rachel didn't answer. Her phone lay face up beside her notebook. The red light blinked faintly. Recording. Lydia's tone softened. "Look, I admire what you're trying to do, but this could hurt your future prospects. Companies talk, you know." Rachel kept her gaze level. She didn't blink. "You mean the kind of talk that happens when someone reports discrimination?" The sentence landed like a dropped weight. Lydia's smile cracked for a second, small, almost invisible, but real. She straightened her blouse, exhaled through her nose. "Let's not make this more complicated than it has to be." Rachel leaned forward slightly. Her hand brushed the phone. The red light glowed brighter in the reflection of Lydia's glasses. "I already did," she said quietly. "Filed the complaint yesterday. EEOC. With attachments." Silence filled the room. Not the calm kind, the kind that rings in your ears. For a moment, only the air vent spoke. Then Lydia's hand twitched toward her own phone, as if to check something, but stopped halfway. Rachel stood, smoothed her jacket. "You'll hear from them soon." She walked out, each step heavy but steady. Outside, in the hallway, the noise of the office hit like surf. Keyboards, phones, the hum of machines. It sounded different now. Not oppressive, just alive. As she reached the elevator, her phone buzzed. A new email from HR. "We'll review the matter internally." She smiled, the first real one in weeks. The news didn't break loud. It never does in places like that. One morning, Rachel opened her work email, not the fake one, her real one, and saw a subject line that froze her hand midair. Internal compliance update. HR restructuring effective immediately. No explanation, no statement, but the tone said everything. By noon, the Slack channels at her old company were on fire. Anonymous threads, screenshots of unprofessional conduct, a few brave messages from current employees saying, "Finally." The recordings, her recordings, had started circulating. Nobody said her name, but everyone knew. She watched the chaos from her living room, coffee cooling beside the laptop. Eli was drawing on the floor with crayons, humming softly. "Mom, is this your office?" he asked, pointing at a stick figure behind a tiny desk. Rachel smiled faintly. "Yeah, that's me." The phone rang once that afternoon. Unknown number. "Rachel Torres?" This is Laura from EEOC. The company's agreed to a settlement and a procedural review of all hiring practices. You'll receive documentation this week. Rachel thanked her, voice calm, hands still. 2 days later, another email. Subject, Project Manager, official offer. Same role, same pay scale. Only this time, it didn't feel like a favor. She read it twice, then opened the folder invoices. Each file sat there, lined up neatly. Interview 1. Interview 2. Follow-up. The last one, labeled Meeting, Thursday, sat unread since that day. She plugged in her earbuds and pressed play. Lydia's voice again, brittle under the calm. Let's not make this complicated. Then silence. Then her own voice, steady. I already did. Rachel scrolled to the bottom of the file list, tapped Delete All. A soft click. The phone vibrated once. The same rhythm as Lydia's old nail taps, but quieter now. She exhaled slowly. The mug clicked against the counter. Outside, the wind brushed the window. Eli laughed down the hall. Justice didn't roar. It just adjusted the volume. Rachel closed the laptop, set the mug down beside it, and looked toward the window. Her reflection was calm now, eyes awake, like she was listening to something only she could hear.